Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, you know it does not work without you guys. So let's get open for business here, and let's wake up the football gods here. Wake up, guys. Wake up. There you go. On this hump day. It's already hump day. Oh, my goodness. Wow. The weekend, the time is just literally flying by. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the road. I got to go down to Waynesboro. I'm actually meeting with a structural engineer. We're going to go ahead and get the plans and stuff drawn so that way we can start working on the red brick house. And I'll probably start doing, maybe go down for a day, a week, and just start working on the red brick house. And I think you guys will enjoy that because it's literally 200 years old. 2020 has not been a great year, but I'm going to make it a great year for that red brick house, and we're going to save a piece of history. So, speaking of history, we heard yesterday $45 million as a fifth-year option for Dak Prescott. And people literally lost their mind. I know people were saying, let that greedy SOB walk. I'm tired of this stuff. Let him walk. Get him out here. Trade him to somebody. Just get him out of here. Look, Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is the answer. We got him for $3 million. And then you're talking about paying Dak Prescott $45 million. And I say, hold up. Wait a minute. Listen, please, before you go crazy. We know that Dak Prescott was offered basically a $175 million deal for 5 years with $105 million guaranteed. Basically what that's saying is we're guaranteeing 3 seasons at $35 million. That's what it all works out to be, averaging $35 million a year. That's what it's averaging out to, with 105 guaranteed. In the general neighborhood of Russell Wilson's and Kirk Cousins and everything else, because when you look at Carson Wentz, he got 107 million guaranteed. You look at Jared Goff, who got 110 million guaranteed. And if you're Dak Prescott, ego thing, why would you say I'm going to take less than those guys? They came in with all the ballyhoo. They came in, were supposed to be the guys. Yet my numbers are way better than they are. I've won more games, had less turnovers. And I haven't gotten really jack crap. I want to show you guys something here. In the history of the NFL thus far, before this season's salaries get paid, there are 37 guys who have made over $100 million already in their career. And I want to go through this list because this is kind of surprising, because I hear people say, well, Dak Prescott, he's done nothing yet. You shouldn't pay him. Well, the reality is you paid him $4 million for 4 years and 40 wins. You paid him literally $100,000 per win. $100,000 per win. That's what you paid him. $100,000 per win. Do you know when Carson Wentz takes the field, he gets $2 million win or lose? Every game? And for all those that say that if you pay a quarterback, you can't win. Well, you haven't paid one for 4 years. So if you paid one for 4 years, you're basically balancing out at even. But anyway, let's go through this list. Kirk Cousins, who signed the first fully guaranteed contract, $88 million. Who's only 2 years into that 3-year deal, has gotten another 66 added on top of it. Thus far, what he's already been paid between the 2 franchise tags in Washington in 2 years in Minnesota is $106 million. As we go on down through here, Adrian Peterson, $101 million. Can't argue with that. Champ Bailey, Super Bowl champion, 102. Can't argue with that. Calais Campbell, a guy I wanted here not once but twice, $103 million. Can't argue with that one. Julio Jones, $103. Can't really argue with that one. Trent Williams, $104. I'm not going to argue with that. That's more than Tyron Smith hasn't paid. Joe Hayden, 107. I'm not going to argue with that one either. Terrell Suggs, 108. Von Miller, 108. Not going to argue with that one either. Russell Wilson, 109. Two Super Bowls. 1 win, 1 loss. Jason Peters, 111 million. I'm not going to really argue with that one either. Calvin Johnson, 113 million. Gerald McCoy, you know what Gerald McCoy, 118. Gerald, you've been paid, which is why you look at him now with desire with the Cowboys. He got money. Right now, he want to get a ring. You got a guy who wants to be in prime time. You know, that's the motivation for him now. Mario Williams, wow. $120 million for Mario Williams, 4 times in the Pro Bowl. That was a lot of money for that. Cam, he's made $121 million. He does have 1 MVP. Now we're getting into some of the ones you kind of look at. Jay Cutler got $122 million. And how many Pro Bowls? 1. 1 freaking Pro Bowl. 1. Joe Thomas, great left tackle. Too bad he was on the Browns. Darrell Revis, hey, shutdown corner. They named an island after him. Okay. Mike Vick, $124 million. He was like a video game. Tony Romo, $127 million. Tony Romo, $127 million. All right. Here we go. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Sam Bradford made $130 million. Let's see. Pro Bowls, 0. Championships, 0. First team All-Pro, 0. $130 million. Brett Favre, can't argue with him making 137. 11 Pro Bowls, 3-time first pro, All-Pro. Ndamukong Suh, 148. Okay. 5-time Pro Bowler. Oh, Alex Smith, $161 million. Wow. 3-time Pro Bowler. Wow. Julius Peppers, 165. Here we go with another one. Now, I know Joe Flacco does have a Super Bowl ring. He does have a Super Bowl ring, but that's Ray Ray's ring. That's Ray Ray's ring, okay? $166 million Joe Flacco made. Carson Palmer, $174 million. Wow. 3-time Pro Bowler. Okay. Larry Fitzgerald, $175. Matthew Stafford. Whoa, okay. Our first $200 million man. Matthew Stafford has made $203 million. $203 million, and what do we have? 1 Pro Bowl. 1 Pro Bowl. He was the highest paid player in the NFL, and one season he did get actually $50 million between his base salary and his signing bonus. It was a salary cap hit of $51 million. Wow. Okay. Phillip Rivers, 218. Matty Ice, 223. Big Ben, 232. Aaron frickin' Rodgers, 233. Tom Brady. Now, it's funny because everybody talks about Tom Brady. He takes team discounts. Yet he's 4th all time in compensation. That part of that's because he's played forever. But $235 million. This list actually surprised me. Drew Brees, $244 million. Peyton Manning, $248. And at the top of the list is Eli Manning at $252 million. $252 million, and Eli Manning has 2 championships and 4 Pro Bowls. Okay, so that's the list of what quarterbacks have been paid. Now, here's the thing. What we're talking about here is basically the same deal. Just Dak saying, okay, I want to be part of when they redo the television contract and get that money like everybody else. That's why everybody's looking at short deals. Nobody is getting long-term deals. As you look at that list, you see, Trent Williams, you see Joe Thomas, you see those guys well over $100 million, right? Well, Tyron Smith is in that category. But Tyron Smith signed a contract that was, 8-9 years long? For $97 million. It was record-breaking at the time, but the reality is he lost out on about $30 million by doing so. And I bet he's looking at it and saying, damn, Trent Williams is going to get paid again. And I'm only getting 13. Now, you can call it being greedy. I could call it going business. I don't know that you go to your job and say, you know what, I'll take less money. I know this guy's getting $25 an hour, but I'll take 20. I'm okay with that, even though I do a better job than them. But here's the reality of it. The deal that the Cowboys have offered, 3 years guaranteed, $35 million a year roughly, okay? It's really only a 3-year deal. They want to own your rights for a 4th and 5th year if they say, you know what, we got the better of this deal. We're going to keep you on that. We're not going to give you a raise. And see, this is the problem with a lot of contracts is you can do what you're supposed to do. You make this contract with these people, but we're going to cut you. It's not really a contract when it comes to the owner's side, unless it behooves them. If all of a sudden quarterbacks are being paid $60 million a year, oh, well, you signed this contract. We're going to hold you to it. Right? But they will cut your ass in a minute and say, hey, those years weren't guaranteed. So if you're Dak Prescott, you're going to say, okay, if you're going to hold my rights, I want to make sure I have a big payday on that 5th year. And the reality is more than likely that 5th year would be a year that they would redo a contract, just like Zeke Elliott, who had 2 years to his deal. And in all actuality, what we're talking about here is $10 million over 5 years is $2 million a year. Just talking about 35 versus 37. And for the Dallas Cowboys, that's actually going to be a bargain. When you realize that just 5 years ago, Drew Brees was the highest paid at $18 million. 5 years ago, Drew Brees was the highest paid at $18 million. We are $19 million higher, talking about $19 million higher than that number. 5 years from now, $45 million is going to be cheap. Not when you think that Deshaun Watson is already talking about 40. And Pat Mahomes will probably be the first $45 million guy. So I see how you're that close, they get this deal done. And with Jerry Jones back in his office, it'll happen. All right, guys, I got work I got to do. I got racks to put together. I got the pink one. I got some shit colored ones. Oh, sorry, excuse my language. Crap colored ones. That would be Eagles. I got New York Saints. I got Cowboy ones. I got Spice racks. I got shot glass racks. And somebody said, "Hey, look, this letter. This was cool. This email was cool because they said, you know what? I don't drink. I don't do coffee. I don't cook. I don't like hot sauce. I don't have trading cards. But what I do have is a lot of hats." And so he says he needs hat racks. Now, what I have up here, they're actually football laces. They're oversized. They're 1x6s. And the way I have them laying horizontally. So what we have is a T-hook underneath of them that holds the helmets. So we got helmets. So I've got basically 8 spots on there. And then above them, you put a hat on it. So it actually goes around it. So I have one for each division. I've got 4 of them up. I'm sorry, 2 divisions for it. The problem with this is it's like 6 feet long, and I don't know that I can get a box for that. So I'm working on a new design for hanging hats. So I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to do what I do, figure out a way that we can make a football hat rack just for you. You guys asked for it. I do the best I can to give it to you. All right, guys, make sure you make this a great hump day, and we will see you. Hopefully, I got something planned this evening. Which will be the beginning of something new that we'll be doing here on the Joe Boo Sports Report, because we like to keep you entertained. I'm Mark Holmes, and I will see you guys soon.